Well, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi is in Brazil's Rio de Janeiro on the 18th and 19th of November to take part in the 2024 G20 summit. India is the founding member of the grouping of the world's 20 largest economies and was instrumental as last year's host in getting the African Union, comprising 55 nations, full membership during last year's summit in New Delhi. DD India's Gautam Roy has put together this report to show what's in store this year in Rio.
Leaders of the world's 20 largest economies, along with the African Union, will be in Brazil's Rio de Janeiro for the 2024 G20 summit. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi will also be participating in it as the leader of the world's fastest growing economy.
The visit to Brazil is for the 19th G20 summit that's being held on the 18th and 19th of November. This is the Prime Minister's third official visit to Brazil. This particular G20 summit is also going to be a very special summit because it will be the first time that the African Union will take its place in the G20 grouping.
India's G20 Sherpa Amitabh Kant has told DD India that the PM will be playing a constructive role in taking New Delhi's G20 agenda from last year as host forward. He will also help Brazil pursue its objectives of eliminating hunger and poverty, sustainable development and reform of global governance institutions forward, with emphasis on global economic growth and sustainable development.
The Prime Minister will focus on a range of issues concerning the global South, and the challenges relate to driving growth, balanced, sustainable, inclusive growth. And the challenge is that the global growth is slowest at the turn of the century.
Let's understand what is G20. This will be the 19th summit of the G20 leaders, a grouping which came together after the 1999 Asian financial crisis. Finance ministers and heads of central banks of member countries met in the following years. In 2007, when the global financial crisis hit, the grouping was elevated to the level of heads of state and government. The first G20 summit took place in 2008 in Washington, D.C. G20 statements and decisions are non-binding upon members and follow a consensual approach. Over the years, the G20 has gone beyond financial matters to also deliberate and act to achieve sustainable development goals and further the cause of global peace. Last year, despite tremendous challenges, the New Delhi Declaration was brought on the first day of the summit with consensus on the Ukraine conflict. This year, while this conflict remains unresolved, the West Asian conflict has come up as another formidable challenge.
This will be a complex issue. There will be many more challenges. We struggled with it. We did about 300 hours of negotiation on one para of Russia-Ukraine. We failed 16 times but arrived at a consensus on the Russia-Ukraine war. Where even the United Nations has not been able to arrive at a consensus so far.
The upcoming change of guard at the White House could also become a factor during the deliberations due to President-elect Donald Trump's MAGA agenda, which is centered on high tariffs and climate change denial. Despite the challenges, the grouping has been moving forward, taking incremental steps to resolve differences and take collective action in multiple spheres through the years. It is hoped that even this year, progress will be made in Rio to benefit the earth and humanity. Gautam Roy, DD India.